What is going on, guys, and welcome to another edition of my FIFA 13 career with Manchester United. As you can see here is the Capital One Cup semi-final draw. As you can see, we've been drawn against Chelsea, so we will play them twice, home and away. We are in the thick of the transfer window. It is fully open in January. I did put a bid in for Nicholas Hoult. I was supposed to sign him a couple of seasons ago because one of you guys left a comment in the comment section below recommending him. And he was just sat in my shortlist for about 2-3 seasons. And I thought, why not? The lad can play centre mid as well as on the left. And also he can be cover if one of my main players gets injured. I know that some of you want me to sign some big players, but I don't really see myself doing that anymore now that the season is almost coming to an end. This is the last transfer window. And as I've said before, this is my last season with Manchester United on FIFA 13. And who knows, with this signing of Nicholas Hoult, if he's any good within the next couple of months on my Man United career, then I might sign him for the team that I'll be managing next. I know you guys really want to know which team I'm going to be managing next in FIFA 13. I'll give you a hint. I'm not going to tell you right now. The team is in the Barclay Premier League. I know some of you guys are going to be leaving in the comment section below, is it this team, is it this team? I'm not going to say. I will be releasing the details very soon though, so you're going to have to stay tuned. Maybe I'll release the first video to the season on Monday. I will leave you with that thought. Anyway, to the game, which you are seeing right now on your screen. The first leg of the Capital One Cup semi-final. United versus Chelsea. It's always a good fixture, this one. And look at the pace of Gareth Bale. I didn't think it was going to land at the feet of Christian Eriksen there. I thought the ball was only going to reach Rooney, but no, it went past Rooney. And Eriksen almost put United into the lead, putting the ball into the roof of the net. But it goes over instead for a goal kick. Second half, Valencia shows his dominance down the right wing. Crosses in the ball, finding the head of Ronaldo, but the ball just bounces off that post. Then Chelsea take the ball up to our end. And Benzema opens up the scoring in the 59th minute. It's 1-0 to Chelsea. They've got that away goal as well. Thing is, with the Capital One Cup, in my opinion, it's not really a major trophy to win. If we did manage to win it, it's just a consolation to our season, as my expectations was to just walk away from this season with all three major trophies, which was the Champions League, the Premier League and the FA Cup. So as you just saw there, I brought on Van Persie and Nani. Nani takes the ball into Chelsea's box, passes it out to Ronaldo, who's outside the box, Ozil, and we do get a penalty. Gareth Bale goes down. He's brought down by Azpilicueta. I do hope I pronounced that right, because it is kind of a hard name to pronounce, isn't it? Especially when you take a quick glance at it. Anyway, I'm here deciding who should take the penalty, and instead of Ronaldo, I decide to go with Robin Van Persie. Number 20 steps up, and he powers it past Cech, who is completely bewildered. He doesn't know what's going on. Robin Van Persie puts us back into the game, and I'll quite happily take this to Stamford Bridge.
Absolutely no chance whatsoever.
And just when I thought the game was going to end a draw and we was going to go to Stamford Bridge looking good, Oscar picks out McEachran, who heads the ball onto the ground, full into Stegen, and the ball just nestles safely into the back of the net, and he makes it 2-1, just a couple of minutes removed from that penalty that Van Persie took. So that's 2 away goals Chelsea have in their advantage come the second leg in the semi-finals of the Capital One Cup. And that was the final score. There was no bounce back because he scored at such a late time, and they just sat back and defended for the rest of the game. Moving on, we get a transfer offer for Raphael, and that was from AC Milan for 13 mil. I know I probably could have gone for a counter offer, but I rejected straight away. And our next fixture was in the Barclays Premier League against Wigan Athletic. We was playing away. That was my start 11. Got Lewandowski, Rooney, Bale, Ozil, Cleverley, Nani, Butner, Smalling, Jones and Raphael. Jones starting again as Hummels is still out injured. Just 9 minutes into the game, surprise, surprise, Raphael gets a yellow card for Manchester United, then Ramis for Wigan in the 35th minute. Then come the second half, it's still 0-0. I was getting kind of worried because, as you can see there, Chelsea 2-0 up against Bolton, and then Jones goes and gets injured, and Butner gets a yellow card. And that was the game. It ended 0-0. We only picked up 1 point when really we should have been walking away with those 3 points. The physio comes to me after the game and says that Jones has suffered a dead leg quad and will only be out for 3 days, so that's not too bad. I do then put in another bid for Nicholas Hoult. His team, Elfsborg, I think that's how you pronounce it, upped the price once more, and I submitted the offer. I went for it. Philipp Lahm, we received a transfer offer for him, and look at the team. FC Bayern Munich. They want Philipp Lahm back. They missed him so much. So, you know what, I went for a counter offer because they offered 9.5 and I thought, you know what, I'm going to screw an extra 500,000 out of them and go for 10 mil, see what they'd say. Then I submitted that, fingers crossed that Lahm will get his wish and move to, or I should say move back to, FC Bayern Munich. Elfsborg got back to me pretty sharpish and they accepted my transfer offer for Nicholas Holt. All I had to do then was just offer him a contract worth 10,000 a week and for 3 years. So it wasn't really too much out of my transfer budget, and so I go ahead and submit that offer. Plus it's another player on the team that we've got. I then hear back from Bayern Munich and it seemed to say they've sticking to their guns. They wasn't willing to fork out another extra 500,000. I do stall on the offer because they were sticking to their original offer, which was 9.5. There you can see Mats Hummels returns to action and I get a transfer offer for Christian Eriksen. No way am I selling him. He's one of my best central midfielders, or central attacking midfielders. Then it was back to Philipp Lahm. I then decided to go ahead and accept the offer. Philipp Lahm was pretty unhappy at Manchester United. I mean, he is a great player, but he's just getting older, and he doesn't compare to Raphael at the moment in my starting 11. So we move on to our next fixture, which is against QPR at Old Trafford. There is the league table and how it stands at the moment. We are still 2 points behind Chelsea. It's getting so tense this season because we'll go and lose a game and then Chelsea will win and then they'll go something like 5 points ahead of us and then we'll win our next game and then they'll lose their next game. It's just so close and so tense, and I reckon it's going to go down to the very last day of the Premier League again, just like it has done for the past couple of seasons. Now if you take a look at this, Lewandowski picks out Gareth Bale with the header there, and Gareth Bale just hammers the ball against the crossbar. Look at that. I think that was across the line. It should have been 1-0 really. Let's take a closer look. Hits the crossbar. Yes, that's definitely across the line. Should definitely have been a goal. Bring in line technology, please. So moving on, just look at the pace of Nagatomo, taking the ball down that left wing. I have him on my ultimate team, and if you guys don't, I do recommend that maybe sign him up and try him out. He's helped me out so much to get to the first division with my team. I make a sub here, I bring on Van Persie Valencia and take off Nani and Lewandowski. As you can see there, Liverpool going in the lead against Arsenal, 3-2 the score there. And Ronaldo makes it 1-0 to Manchester United in the 68th minute, forcing his way through the QPR defence and just hammering it past Caesar. He's just unstoppable. He's just the perfect player, Ronaldo, to have on your team, especially in career mode. It just doesn't seem like a game without him getting on the score sheet. Valencia then takes the ball and picks out Van Persie. Now the defender did get a touch on that and it fell to the feet of Christian Eriksen, who made the QPR team pay for their lack of concentration, and Eriksen just puts that past Caesar with ease, making it 2-0 to Manchester United. And that was indeed the final score, 2-0. Eriksen and Ronaldo getting on the score sheet. Great result, and also those 3 points. Keep knocking on Chelsea to tell them you will eventually crumble. So moving on, after the game against QPR, Nicholas Holt comes to me and he's like, well, you can't really offer me that squad role of being a crucial first team. So I say, okay, squad rotation, which you probably will be. Then the deal for Philipp Lahm to move to FC Bayern Munich for 9.5 has actually been finalised. He will be going back to Germany. It is a shame to see Lahm go because he was a great player. He just wasn't up to the standards of my Man United squad. With Nicholas Holt here, all I had to do was confirm the transfer and he was coming to Manchester. Then it was on to our next fixture, which was the second leg of the semi-final in the Capital One Cup against Chelsea. This time we're playing at Stamford Bridge. In the first leg back at Old Trafford, Chelsea picked up the win. They beat us 2-1, so they was hoping that they would hold on to that lead and go through to that final at Wembley against either Man City or West Brom. Well, that was my starting 11, kind of a strong side. I wanted to just beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, give them a taste of their own medicine after what they did to us at Old Trafford in the first leg. I wasn't really too fussed about going through to that final, as long as we just beat Chelsea. That was the main thing. Look at Sturridge, how he just beats Butner, takes the ball into our box, fires it to Stegen, who was unable to hold on to it. We do manage to get the ball out of the area. Then we get a free kick. Nothing really came of it. Ozil does pick up the loose ball, smacks it against that crossbar, and that was pretty much the only chance we had in the game. Petr Cech was on form as always, and so was the Chelsea defence. They sat back for the whole game. Not even a goal was scored at Stamford Bridge, but that was enough to see them go through to the final of the Capital One Cup after they beat us 2-1 on aggregate. So moving on to our last fixture of this video, we was back in Manchester facing another team from London, Tottenham Hotspurs, in the 4th round of the FA Cup. So this was my start 11 for the FA Cup 4th round. Pretty strong side. Ronaldo and Rooney up front, great partnership. And Holt also made his debut. Gareth Bale was left out on the bench, he was looking a bit tired. And I forgot to mention that Hummels did return to action against Chelsea. He was also looking a bit unfit for this game against Tottenham. And what a through pass from Nani. Picking out Wayne Rooney, who was making the run into the box. And I was really surprised that Lloris didn't save that. It was a finesse shot, but it just went past him. And Rooney makes it 1-0 in the 3rd minute. What a time to score. This was just history repeating itself, because if you remember guys, last season we did face Tottenham in the FA Cup final, which we did win. And after that goal from Cristiano Ronaldo, that wonderful set piece, it was 2-0 to United, and it just didn't seem as though Tottenham had a comeback in them. Villa-Boas would have been distraught after that second goal went in from Ronaldo. One thing that would have put a smile back onto the face of Villa-Boas was that goal in the 85th minute from Barclay, who made it 2-1. So after that goal had gone in, I needed to make sure that nothing else got past to Stegen. But with the lack of communication in Tottenham's back four, Kulka messes up and gives the ball away to Robin van Persie, and he's never going to miss from there. He makes it 3-1 to United in the 90th minute, and surely that has booked ourselves into the next round of the FA Cup. So that was the final score, and as I said, we are going through to the next round of the FA Cup. Anyway, moving on, it was the transfer deadline day, and a lot was about to happen, because I was thinking to myself, well, we've just sold Philipp Lahm, and we've only got Raphael that fills at that spot. What if he was to get injured, or if he was to get a red card? So I needed to just find a temporary player that can fill that position if anything was to go untoward. I'm just going to speed this up as well. I go over to the transfer list, taking a look at all the top right backs, and none of them are really standing out. I'm looking at the ratings as well, and then my eyes fall upon another player from Ajax, Ricardo van Rijn, or Van Ryan, and just look at his stats there: jumping 89, sprint speed 87, acceleration, and he's a pretty tall player as well, and I think he'd be the perfect replacement if Raphael was to get injured or get a red card. So I put in a bid for Van Rijn or Van Ryan for 7 million exactly, and look at this, Real Madrid have won the race for Karim Benzema. He's going back to Real Madrid. What is going on here? First it was Philipp Lahm going back to Bayern Munich, and now it's Benzema going back to Real Madrid. Ajax did accept my first bid for Van Rijn, or Van Ryan, I think that's how you pronounce it, and all I had to do then was offer him a contract which was worth 45,000 a week for 3 years, and he does actually accept the contract offer that I gave him, so Christian Eriksen will have a friend now at Old Trafford. Anyway guys, that is the end of the video. That is the transfer deadline. I hope you've enjoyed. Do stay tuned for more. I will see you soon. Peace out.